Well, I'd like to welcome you to Lesson 4, and this is one of, I would say, the more critical lessons of this course. I'm going to talk a little bit fast because I'm still trying to keep these videos short because I realize you're busy, as all instructors are busy. Again, that's why we call it Quickie Tech. We want to take professionals who are already an expert at what they do, and we want to add to their skill set by providing them LAUSD approved professional development courses for salary points. Gathering information is extremely critical, and there's a lot I have to say about this, but being a fellow instructor with you and also someone who works at RAND Corporation, which is a public policy think tank over in Santa Monica that does research on big topics like the global rise of China, suicide prevention, terrorist analysis, health and education policy in the United States, and other companies I've worked for like IBM, Boeing, Hughes. Searching for information is extremely critical. And I think you've probably had the experience where, at least I've had this experience in the last year, I walk into a doctor's office and I ask a question that they don't know how to answer. And the doctor swivels on their chair to a computer and does a search. Okay, that's a prime example of a 21st century workplace environment where a doctor who has read books and has learned how to do searching and proper research now knows that those books and journals are online. And so when they search, it's basically a well-trained search capability that's been cultivated through years of work. And so I want to make that simple point because just searching for things on the internet is not going to produce a professional or a college-ready student unless they know how to gather information properly. So this word gather really is important, and that's why it's the title of the second step. So they've done keyboarding. I hope those lessons were good for you, and hope you're introducing those to your students. Even if you don't have a whole lot of time, and I know we instructors, we have like zero time to add anything more to our coursework. Even if you don't have any time, you can just go ahead and hand out a piece of paper with one of the links on how to do keyboarding and say, in the next 2 months, I want you to go home and learn how to do typing. Come back and be proficient in typing. We don't have time to do this in class, but you need to know how to type because we are going to produce 21st century researchers, college-ready and workplace-ready students. And so we're now on gathering. So with gathering, we only have one lesson. So there's going to be a lot of information. The video may be a little bit longer, and the reading portion is going to be a little bit longer with the homework. But I think you're going to find a lot of good information here. So the lesson plan, the objective, I'm going to go through this really quickly. It's to learn to teach students the basics of how to search and gather meaningful information from the internet. 3 steps. Step 1, guide your students into the basics of searching online. Step 2, help students record findings and take notes. When I say record, in other words, jot things down. They should be actively engaged. They shouldn't do Google searches like watching TV and just letting things come up. No, they need to be active and engage with the material. Select it, evaluate it, cross-check it. Step 3, learn how to properly cite sources from the internet. Just as when you gather books from the library and you reference those books in order to give honor to the author. That's the proper ethics with doing research. In the same way, when you do research on the internet, you should cite things appropriately. So going through this really quickly. Step 1, guide your students into the basics of searching on the internet. Elementary teachers, look at that site, kidssearch.com. Middle school and high school teachers, of course, Google, Bing, Yahoo. Go ahead and have your students look at those. There's some principles in the reading on how to still do safe searching with Google. Look at that. There's also a URL at the bottom here, scholar.google.com, where you can do searching of publications and scholarly work. Step 2, help students record findings by taking notes. So these 4 points give a nice methodical way to actually start to enter into research. Sometimes students, when you give them a topic to research, they don't know where to start. Have them do this. Number 1, write down the topic. What's the topic you're researching? Sometimes that topic may be a question that you're trying to answer. Formulating a well-structured question is really the first point and the first starting point for research. Of course, if you're not doing research but you're writing poetry or you're doing a presentation or you're doing art, then it may not be a question, it may just be a topic. Guitar playing in the 19th century. You want to research that. That's an informative report. So number 2 is have them write what they already know. This actually helps prevent writer's block. So when they begin to research and they have the topic, they should just brainstorm it and write all the things they know. And then what they should do is write the things they don't know. So number 3 is search on topics you don't know. What they've written about what they don't know becomes the beginning point for their search. And then 4, they should take notes on what they find and categorize the information under headings. Eventually their report is basically the topic with subtopics and then information under the subtopics. That's really clustering. Taking the information they've researched and putting them into categories and then presenting, whether it's 1 paragraph per category or it's 1 page per category, but presenting things in a methodical way. And then to cite things properly from the internet, go to citationmachine.com. It's really good. Just really quickly, if you're standing there in front of your class, you can give them 5 simple points to properly reference something on the internet. Number 1, go ahead and put the name of the website down. Say it's CNN.com. Number 2, put the name of the article. Say it's researching how to solve the water problem in the Sahara Desert. Okay, that's the title of the article. 3, if there's an author, write down the author. 4, the URL, make sure you include the URL. And then 5, put the date that you accessed the URL. So that if you access something in 2013 and someone reads it in 2020 and then they go to the link and it's not there anymore because CNN took down the site, maybe research has been updated since that time, then basically the reader knows it's not that you didn't reference things properly, it's just that you accessed it a long time ago. Of course, 2013 was not a long time ago. And exercise. Okay, so let's research a really quick topic. I'm going to do this really fast, but I'm just going to go through all the points I just talked about really quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead and I hope you can see this. I'm going to go big font because I know, on these little videos it's not always easy. So what is our topic? Let's research this topic. What are the factors that contribute to some students not doing well? Okay, so I'm a teacher, I'm in front of my students. Students, we're going to do a little research topic, and tomorrow we're all going to come back and we're going to talk about this topic. I want you to research this and come up with specific factors on why certain students don't do well. And I want you to do proper searching. I would include library searches. Encourage them. Find information from the library, find information from the internet. If you do use the internet, I want you to go ahead and follow these steps. You can use it with the library too, but a lot of them are going to go to the internet. I would say, number 1, write down the topic. So we have the topic right here. Number 2, write down what you already know. What I know. Well, I know that lack of sleep is a factor for students not doing well. Okay, what I don't know. What I don't know. I don't know what the experts say about this topic. Okay, that's the jumping point for my research. So I go ahead and go to the internet. Let's go ahead and go to Google. Type Google right here. I'm on Chrome on a PC. You might be on Safari, Firefox on a Mac, or Chrome, Firefox IE on a PC. And I'll just go ahead and type, what is a factor for not doing well in school? Okay, first thing that comes up is learning disabilities. Okay, that's probably not a topic that, or a subtopic that relates, but I could see that. A learning disability may be something that contributes. Okay, so I was wrong in my first thought. So I may go and click and research this. What's the site? This is the University of Michigan Health System. It looks like a credible source, okay? And then I could read something about this. That might be the first site I may go to another site, some factors that encourage students to do well. What's interesting, I don't see the site that talks about factors of why students do not do well. So, you may need to go to the second, third, fourth page in and look for things. You just keep looking. Looks like there's an article there on motivation. Another article. What factors contribute to academic success? I'll click on that. Looks like the date that I saw there, and let me just go ahead and go back. The date that I saw, again, scrolling down, it looks like it's April 10th, 2014. Wow, that's pretty fresh content. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and I'll find some information. And looks like there's a paragraph here. I know you can't read this at all, and so I'm going to go ahead and, be proper. I'm going to put a quote there. I'm going to cut and paste, put the quote there. I'm doing that right away so that I don't forget that this is verbatim utterance. It's not my own. It needs to be referenced. Let's go ahead and enlarge that to 28. Probably one of the greatest determining factors in academic success is parental involvement. Interesting. If we keep going down, let's see if there's a factor of why students don't well. Yes. In contrast, children who earn C's or lower, at least in one study, report at about 49% that parents do not encourage them. Okay, so I have some subcategories. Factors of why students do well. Factors of why students don't do well. And lack of parental involvement is one. So then this starts to build a methodical way to build a report. So we'll go ahead and stop there. Please take the time to go ahead and do the reading assignment and the homework, which is a little longer, and I look forward to your feedback. Even if you're in elementary, a teacher that's in elementary, please read the entire method of searching properly on the internet in the reading portion. I think some of the resources, even though they don't apply to, for sure, a kindergartner or a first grader, will still help you develop critical thinkers and know what your colleagues are teaching in more advanced topics. With that, I hope you enjoy this lesson, and I look forward to your feedback. I'm receiving some very excellent feedback from all of you. Thanks so much.